Well, good morning, YouTube. All right, guys, what you just saw there was me attempting to get the startup of Goliath here before we make this trip. Had the phone propped up. You see it stayed there for a while, and then literally just a couple seconds before I hit the start button, it fell over. But that's what we get sometimes. All right, guys, today is Saturday, the 9th, 10th September? I don't know. I think it's the 10th. And we are getting ready to hit the road and head towards Ocean City. Ocean City Bike Fest starts on Wednesday and it will go through Sundays. However, because we are one of the larger rigs that needs to be in place, we really need to be there by Monday morning to at least get parked. We probably won't set up until Tuesday, but we need to be there by Monday a.m. to get the truck in place before they start popping up all the small tents and the small vendors. It's going to limit my space to be able to maneuver this monster into place. You know, and as I'm looking at this, I realize I'm wearing the same shirt that you guys saw me in the last video. It's almost a week ago. I promise I've not been wearing the same clothes for a week straight. Anyways, we are not going to try to get all the way there tonight. It's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. I'm really just trying to get over towards Greensboro, North Carolina today. There is a TA there that usually has ample parking. However, I am running behind. I wanted to be out of here between 12 and 1, and she's such a weirdo. You guys thought Schmidt's daughter was weird. You haven't met mine yet. Anyway, we get over there, get parked, and then tomorrow morning we'll do the second half of the drive on into Ocean City. So we are currently on our way towards Andrews, and if you guys were watching last week's video, you'll remember we came through here with a pickup truck. We are going to go through the Nantahala Gorge again, but this time obviously we're not in the pickup, we're in Goliath, which is a little bit more challenging. And those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you've seen it before. You know how windy it is. There's a lot of steep grades. Luckily none of them are long grades, but they are very steep. So it's very slow going, both ascending and descending. I think this time, instead of dragging you guys through that, we're just going to set it up for a time lapse. That way you'll kind of get an idea of what the entirety of it consists of, rather than just the little clips that you see here and there. Guys, I'm really hoping that footage came out good. Now that I've got Katie's phone, how to upgrade the windshield. Yeah, I guess I didn't mention we're using Katie's phone. her old phone to do the time lapse there. And it's an iPhone 10 XR, XS, NSX, ISX. I don't know. I can't see RS. It's not as good. You know, I'm looking at the screen and I can see a lot of shake and wobble in it. So I'm hoping that that footage that you may have just seen came out good. If you didn't see it, then, well, it probably didn't come out good and I decided to 86 it. But anyway, that was the time lapse through the gorge, hopefully. Now we are currently on US 74. And this area of 74 is called the Great Smoky Mountain Expressway. We're like right in between Silva, Balsam area and Waitsville. So we're still kind of climbing a little bit, little ups and downs. We're getting ready to come across where the Blue Ridge Parkway crosses this. And then after that, it's pretty much all downhill until we start getting closer to Asheville again. And then we got Black Mountain coming up. Probably within the next hour or so, we should be going through there. And that'll be the last of the big grades for this trip to Ocean City. Everybody, we are approaching the Black Mountain area. Signage just passed at 2 miles until Black Mountain. So traffic's been really good today. You know, it's a Saturday evening. It's a little after 6 now, and maybe it's because it's the weekend after holiday weekend. There's just not a lot of people out, which is a good thing. Unfortunately, the roads are wet. It's a little blustery out. It's not really raining. It's just kind of misting on us. But we're going to take it slow up and down the mountain. Hopefully everything goes well. Alright guys, climbing the grade right now. Had the downshift all the way to 5th, about 1600 RPM, 27 mile an hour or so. Just taking it slow. Got a foot to the floor though. really steep grade. So it's not terrible by any means. The biggest trouble that I have with it is, as you can see from the video there, I had to stab brake it a lot more times than I would have liked to. And again, for those of you that are new to the channel will know that I've only got 2 stages of Jake brake on this. The 3rd stage is not working because the embossment in the head where it bolts down has been broken for quite some time. And I've had trouble finding the proper replacement head for it. So we're only using the 2 stages. That and the 8LL transmission has got such a wide or long range, gear range I guess, in it that, you know, the gears are kind of too far apart, so it's really hard to find that perfect speed, that perfect RPM, the perfect gear to get the holdback that you need without having to use the brakes, which is ultimately the safest way to descend one of those grades, is to just pick the right gear, set the jakes, and let it eat Jake all the way down. And if it's done right, you should be able to maintain a set speed the entire way. But the brakes are working phenomenally well because I adjusted everything before we left. I did a whole pre-trip and everything. I think it was Thursday or Friday. So everything is in good adjustment, so I had no problem shedding the speed. It's just I had to do it more often than I would have liked to. But we kept it safe. Nobody crashed. No flashing lights saying truck speed too fast. And we never had to use one of those runaway truck ramps, which is always a good thing. All right, guys, we stopped at exit 203. We're over here, High Point, near High Point, North Carolina. Just kind of the outskirts of Greensboro. So, but we stopped here at the Sheetz gas station because, one, it's got room for me to get Goliath into, and the fuel prices here were considerably cheaper. So, you know, what Katie and I have started doing is trying to plan our fuel stops to get the best prices, because fuel is one of the big expenses in running our business. So here at the Sheetz, the fuel is $4.35.9. So let's just say $4.36. The Petro that we were planning on stopping at, their fuel prices are $5.19. So, I mean, that's 70 cents a difference or something like that. Yeah, I'm not doing that math, but either way. So at 100 gallons, which it didn't take quite 100, 79 gallons, but at 100 gallons, that would have saved me $70, which makes a big difference. Now, I didn't need fuel right now. I had just over half a tank. As you see, we got 200 gallon capacity. We only put in 79 gallons. But here's where the planning comes in. So it's not just that we're stopping here getting fuel cheaper than there, but we did the math on it. And from here to Ocean City, Maryland, is right about 396 miles. So there and back, let's just say 800 with some of the little ancillary stuff or whatnot, 800 miles round trip. So in theory, I should be able to make it to where we're going. And then when the show is over, I should be able to make it back to this fuel stop on the way home. I can top the truck off again here. So we based that math on 170 gallons of fuel because said I got 200 gallon capacity, but you can never use all of it. So to be safe, at 170 miles at 6 gallons per mile, which I actually usually get a little better than 6, and I can probably go a little bit more than 170 gallons, but that's the safe measurement. Was, I don't remember the exact, it was somewhere over 900 miles that we were capable of going on this tank of fuel with only using 170 gallons. Well, it's only 800 to get back here, so that gives us a 100-mile leeway if all that math is correct. Now, if I actually get 6.5 miles to the gallon or 7, which usually we're right around that area, it's gonna be better. If I need to use 180 gallons of fuel, we've got even more. Either way, this saves a bunch of money in the long run, because now when I come back through here, the tanks will be topped off and we'll have fuel to get to Myrtle Beach. And fuel is always cheaper in Myrtle Beach. So gotta use the noggin, gotta plan that stuff out, save money where you can. Remember, it's not always about how much you make, it's how much you keep. All right, guys, so I walked around and checked all the tires and stuff while the tanks are filling up, and everything is looking good. I'm gonna go inside the trailer and make sure that everything in there is still properly secured. All right, so I'm inside the trailer and everything is not properly secured. Guys, this is the second time I've done this. I did it leaving Sturgis, and I don't know what I was thinking because I know better than this, but I came in and I locked the toolbox, but I completely forgot to strap it to the wall. So it has worked its way out. Luckily, it's hit stuff on the ground. It doesn't look like it made any contact with the motorcycle, but you can see it's not that far away. So I'm gonna fix this real quick, and then I'm gonna check everything else. All right, guys, well, no harm, no foul. Nothing got hurt. Everything's all tied back up. I went around and zipped down the straps on the car a couple more clicks, because it always comes loose the first couple little bit. It doesn't move much, but it's just enough that got to give them each one like another click or two on all four corners, and then we should be good for the rest of the trip. All right, guys, we stopped here at the Petro Stopping Centers in Mebane, M-E-B-A-N-E, North Carolina. Basically just a little bit on the east side of Goldsboro. We are still where, it's exit 157, but it's still where Interstate 85 and Interstate 40 merge together. So the mile markers get a little bit confusing, because you literally went from like 235 when you were still on 40, and then as soon as it merges with 85, then it goes down to like 130 or something like that. So it changes really quick, and if you're not paying attention, it messes you up. But that's where we are. This is where we're going to stay the night. Got Goliath parked and tucked in nicely. So we're going to get some sleep, and then we're going to get up and get an early start tomorrow, I hope, and try to be in Ocean City by early to mid-afternoon. That's the plan. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it's nighttime, so we didn't do a lot of footage. We'll keep this one nice and short. So thanks for watching, and until the next time I see you, keep those engines running. Oh, and remember, tomorrow we do the tunnel bridge. Everybody loves the tunnel bridge when I put it on the channel. It's pretty cool.